Welcome back to Booze, Bros, and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Nick.
All right. So, of course, first up, we are gonna be talking about what we're drinking here today. But first, I wanted to announce that it's our 25th podcast. So,
Do the
hell
thumbs
yes,
up. Do the
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up. Yay!
Oh, now I'm not
Is
gonna
it-
do it tonight.
Oh,
No.
Wah, wah.
Oh, there it goes.
Hey, we did it.
Not quite what we're expecting, but that'll do.
We did it.
Yeah. And I don't know why one of my lamps is like flickering. I gotta see which one it is. Anyways,
Your OnlyFans lamp.
Yes, my OnlyFans ring lamp.
It's that ring one.
Yeah, or maybe I just need to buy a new ring lamp. Anyways, so what we're gonna be drinking here tonight? So, I am gonna be drinking tonight the Wicked Weed Milk and Cookies Imperial Stout. I've bought you can get this here anywhere, like in ABC Liquor, Total Wine, places like that. Number 3 if you're here locally. Really, really good beer. I actually had this fresh on tap when I was in North Carolina, but it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. So I'm going to be drinking this tonight. And just to kind of step up the milk and cookies up a little bit of a notch, another Wicked Weed beer, but this is their Guilty Pleasures beer, which is a milk and cookies Imperial Stout.
Barrel aged.
I believe this is, and it's barrel aged too. So comparing the both of them, this is just their normal one. I think it's still up there in ABV. It's like what?
Yeah, it's
like
like
9% or something. Okay, yeah, 9%. Yeah, this one is like 11.6. So definitely looking forward to trying that one out. Mike, what do you got? Oh, wait, hold on. You have news for us. So go ahead and say that first. Because you were on the podcast last night and you said that you were going to participate in Dry January.
Oh, yeah. That it didn't last this year. I'm calling it what am I calling it? I'm calling it a moist January. Because
moist. I like
I'm definitely not drinking as much.
It's a moist month.
It's a yes, for sure.
It's
so
a moist month.
I'm not drinking as much. I fell off the wagon a few times, and then I was just like, that's ruined. If I'm not going to do it, I'm whatever. But I'm drinking
in your
a lot
defense,
less.
You literally manage a portion of a beer company, like a beer.
You do.
I don't know how.
You even thought
if
I can just harp on that, man, it's really hard. Like being, just in general, working for a beer company, but especially in the on-premise side where you're working with like bars and restaurants and you're a supervisor. So you're kind of, I don't know, you have to sit down and talk to people and hang out at places a lot. And it's like, man, it's so hard when you're just like, I'll have an unsweet tea with a lemon, please. Like it's doable, but it's not as fun. But
yeah, I
don't know. That's tough. Well, anyway, I fell off the wagon. So let me talk about the beers I'm drinking tonight. First one, since I'm wearing a Coppertail Ybor City shirt, decided to drink a Coppertail Night Swim. So
there you go.
Also drinking dark tonight. I think Coppertail Night Swim is 6.2% alcohol. So nice traditional porter. It's got a little bit of like almost like coffee notes to it because of the malt that they use, but I'm gonna drink that. Gotcha. And then Eric, I am 99% sure you gave this to me. Life and Limb. I'm pretty sure this is one of the beers that you gave me. So this is an ale brewed with maple syrup and birch syrup.
Let me know how that tastes, because that I'm looking forward to it, because that beer is from Sierra Nevada and a collaboration with Dogfish.
Yep. So in the, where is it? Somewhere on the label, it's got like it's got both Sierra Nevada and the Dogfish label like ghosted into it somewhere, but really, really cool artwork. There's a, you guys can screenshot if you want, if you're looking for the description on it, but kind of a cool looking can. I saw this was in the back of the fridge. I was looking to crack this thing open. So that's what I'm going to drink next, but I'm super excited to try it. Sounds pretty good.
Oh yeah. It sounds phenomenal.
Nice.
What are you having?
I have a nice selection for the evening because I couldn't make my mind. So we'll see what I get through. But I'll start with the beer since everybody's doing these darker type beers. I didn't realize I still had some, but Dogfish had 90-minute Imperial.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, a nice 9% ABV. So I'll pop that open at some point, just kind of keeping it cool in the Yeti Coolster. Been taking some big sips of this Ouzo that one of my peers brought back from his trip to Greece a few months ago. I just forgot I had it, so
nice.
Killing this for the evening.
There you go. Down the
and
hatch.
yeah, got a little Old Smoky, little apple pie, little guy.
It's so cute.
And this was something I know. It was a stocking stuffer for this year, and this is something that I picked up at the Renaissance Festival or Fair down in Bonita Springs that we all went to Sunday. It is from Keys Mead, and it is their ready-to-drink new fashion cocktail, which for them is a mix of their Beekeeper's Cask, which is a lemon liqueur that they use, Krupnik, which is like a cherry kind of liqueur, cherry honey liqueur they do, and then their Orange Cello, which is their version of a orange or limoncello based on honeys and stuff like that. But my wife won't drink it, but she really wanted it just because of the bottle. It's a cool little skull bottle. We picked up another one that was their love potion. That's like a heart bottle and stuff like that.
Nice.
That's cool.
So that's it's nice too. They do the whole seal and it's got the little was it Velsigir or something? I forget what it's called, but the little compass looking thing for and the runic compass, whatever it is. But
that's cool.
So looking forward to those. Ouzo. I tossed a bottle. I forget what brand it was. It was very smooth, and if you don't like black licorice, it's definitely a no-no. But other than that, that's the one I've
I was
drank
gonna
so
say
far.
Ouzo. Is that like some sort? Is that like sambuca?
It's like a sambuca. Yeah, it's basically the Greek version of sambuca.
Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah. So yeah, that's what I got. I'm gonna get some of my new fashion going now and see how it is.
That sounds interesting. I've never had I've never had an old-fashioned type cocktail made from nothing but like honey, So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it smells. It's like 41% alcohol. Yeah, like it's so they truly they're using the honey to make liquors and distill them down, not liqueurs, not mead based. Like it's foolproof stuff. And I mean, it does. Do you smell it? And it smells like a really boozy mead, like just a straight traditional honey and water mead. That's what it smells like.
Sounds like you can just throw that on some rocks and call it a day.
That's literally all it tells you to do. So I've literally got one of my golden snitch ice balls in there, and
oh nice,
there you go.
I'm gonna go to town on that and see how that is.
Hell yeah!
So
nice. I gotta see where you found that golden. I need ice molds for like bourbon and scotch and shit.
I truly don't remember. It's been a while. I've had them for a while, but there's some cool ones out there, dude.
I'm sure you can find it on the old interweb.
As much as I drink most of my stuff neat, I do enjoy having a nice cold gin and tonic or an old fashioned or something like that every now and then. So Facebook or something was listening, and I started getting these ads for the nice bar top like whiskey ball cubes or like ice balls, and the machine's like $800 just to make ice cubes. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just get a few more molds, and I need to get one of those like tray molds where you can stack them all and put them all in, rather than my couple little individual molds. Like I've got like a 20-sided dice mold that's pretty cool.
Oh, you got a D20 one? I found one on Amazon, and I was like, man, maybe I should get one of these.
That was one of the first ones I ever got. I've got one or two of those. I got a couple golden snitches, but I just need to get a plain cube or plain ball one that I can just like have one of those silicone trays I can just fill and put it in the freezer.
I've got a silicone tray that just makes like the block like a square. Like
that's what I need one of those, like just to be able to make multiple.
It's
easy
easy
in the freezer.
Yeah.
I just need to buy that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just buying random shit on the interwebs, mainly Amazon. Thanks, Jeff Bezos.
All day long.
Yeah, I know. Amazon is like, ever since COVID, it's just like blown up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like if you think about it, it's just so convenient because because they have so much crap online. You can now at this point, because they like own like part of Whole Foods, or they own Whole Foods now. You can have groceries delivered to your house from Amazon. Plus, like, you can do Instacart and all that other crap. But I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I was on that last night buying stuff, and it was car related. Bought my wife a phone holder for her special mount thing in the Bronco. So we'll see how that
It
goes.
screws onto the dashboard and the little
it's got
mount.
that little thing up there, the dead center one. So they had like Picatinny rail versions, and then you can mount. I'm like, I just want. So I finally found that mounts just to that point, no other trays or anything, and then just comes straight out and leans over. So we'll see how that works.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
I really still like
another purchase.
So this is definitely car related since we're talking about it, but I really like. I rode in when I rode up with Eric to Bradenton Motorsports Park that day we went up drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a magnetic mount in his car in the Corvette.
Oh yeah,
and I remember I went on and bought one, and man, that thing's so good. I love that thing so much.
Well, I at the time I had the smaller one, and then you're like, oh, there's this one that's bigger, and I was like,
I bought the one that's got the MagSafe, like,
yeah,
that thing's awesome. It's super solid.
And actually, since you found that one, I bought two of them. So I have one in my Corvette, and I have one in the in the Lexus, and it's super convenient. The double-sided tape is really, really strong, dude. It's like the phone gets stuck on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Put pressure and pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that shit was nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, Nick, you said that you bought some other stuff. What would you buy?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I could find an easy way to pull it up. I don't have that email address attached to my computer, as weird as that sounds. But I'm feeling miserably. So we've been talking about this for a while, Porsche related, for my 944, and finally pull the trigger on the full bushing kit for the whole new suspension setup, so that once those arrive, we can actually start putting the bushings into all the new A-arms and the new spindles and everything I've got for the front and rear. Should be able to start greasing some stuff up and bolting some stuff up, getting the hubs put back together and all that kind of stuff, which will now lead me into figuring out which size the damn pistons are in my new calipers, so I can buy the appropriate. They're either 38 millimeter, 36 millimeter, or 40 millimeter. So I'm gonna have to just get a caliper out and measure them, so I can buy the correct rebuild kit. Since they are 30 years old, 31 years old, and they came off of they came off of an 89, so a little older than that.
Nice.
So I've got to figure that all out.
This also means we're gonna get to play with a torch.
No, because I
was wondering what that was.
Oh yeah, that's Ragnar. No, so all my new arms are already debushinged. They got to touch them out for me.
Oh, that's right, because you got new. That's right.
So yeah, they're all new aluminum arms, not the factory steel arms. So that should be just a matter of having them properly pressed in and start throwing some bolts in.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So we're going to be working on the Porsche soon. Hopefully
soon. I'd like to do it to where we can put it all together, get the calipers on, rotors, and all that. So in the next week or two, I'm going to get that research done. To try and
let's do it while the weather's nice. I don't really want to do that in July.
That's exactly what I'm. Because if I sit there and if I decide not to touch it again for another 6 to 9 months, I want it to be because it's just hot as shit.
Outside.
But I'd like to know that I could put tires on the wheels and mount the wheels and set it down at that point if I really wanted to. So that's the goal.
Do you need TPMSs for that, or no? Like, do you just need the rubber ones?
No, dude. It's a 36-year-old car. There's 37 now.
I was asking because if you just need just a normal rubber, it's what is it? Oh my god, what the hell are those things called? The valves. Yeah. I have them at home and the tool to put them on, because I bought them because I had my GS300 that I sold, and I still have my Elantra wheels, so I need to actually sell those because I'm
I probably need to borrow that tool, depending on how it is.
I have the valve stems in the tool, so I can bring them over your house and we'll just put them on. It's
and that's
super
assuming
easy.
That 30-some-year-old German wheels go together the same way, so hopefully it's the same size hole for the valve stem.
So you're gonna have to buy new tires for the new wheels anyway. So I mean, they can, if it's just a regular valve stem, they can throw a valve stem in there when they install the tires.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for not a lot of money
figuring on. And I'm not in a rush to do that just because, well, if the project continues to take forever, I don't want to put brand new tires on it and have them dry out and stuff like that. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. So, question on the brakes. So you're gonna do a rebuild kit for the brake calipers? How much?
Yes.
How much are just brand new calipers?
So
you're gonna want to replace the lines too.
These are used, but they came off of a 944 S2 or turbo, so they're legit factory Brembos from one of these cars now. Where the old ones were just the shitty basic ones. Like these are actual enclosed Brembo setup systems from the 80s for this car. Would I love to do like a Will Wood or one of those big names, like a true big brake kit? Yeah, but I think it'll be pretty cool to have a lot of modern stuff on there and still have some period correct brakes.
Well, I just mean like, I don't mean necessarily going aftermarket. I just mean like factory refurbs or something, like something that's already got new guts in it. Instead of having to rebuild them.
That's pretty much what he's going to be doing. So
yeah, like
he has the turbo.
Yeah,
brake.
I've already bought the stuff, but I'd rather just feel better.
So it's not the brakes. So it's not the brakes that are on the car already.
No, those would be trash. Gotcha. No, these are actual legit Brembos from the turbo models.
Gotcha.
So, and I already talked to a local company that has a clean room, and they'll do the rebuild for me and even respray them for me. So it's the Tilly's. Nice. Tilly's. So they do all like they're right across the canal from the dealership. So I always see 944s, 924s, 968s out there. They work on these things on the regular. So
yeah,
that's how I found them.
Speaking of 928s, probably by far my favorite Top Gear moment was Jeremy Clarkson in the 928 Porsche.
Yeah, talking about his dad, right?
Yeah. Always a very, very touching moment.
Golly, that is a good one. The soft side of Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, which you don't really see it often.
No, not at all.
It's usually hit it with a hammer and light it on fire, Jeremy Clarkson, which I love.
Which I like that Jeremy Clarkson too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's also really good.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, Top Gear.
Yeah. All right, on to some talking points here. So the really big one that kind of came out earlier this week. Was it earlier this week or was it last week that it came out?
I think it was saw it this week.
Late last week.
I saw it a day or two ago.
Okay. But there is a very, very large world known racetrack in California, of course. The WeatherTech Laguna Seca track. Apparently they're being sued by a bunch of rich Karen and Kyles that are complaining that there's too much noise coming from the racetrack. Yeah, so I started doing some research on this, and apparently it's like homeowners. I guess there's like some country clubs that are kind of complaining about it too. But first off, one thing that I found out with reading a couple of articles, I didn't realize this, but apparently Monterey County in California, they actually own the track. So it's not privately owned. It's actually owned by the county.
Yep.
So that lawsuit, these Karens and Kyles are probably going to end up losing that lawsuit because the county owns it. And apparently they did last year in 2023, they did an $18 million renovation for the track where they resurfaced the track and they installed a new bridge over the main straightaway. So if you guys know of Laguna Seca, there's a bridge over the main straightaway, which I believe is right before the start and finish line, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where the bridge is. So they redid that. And so everything was like $18 million. So good luck.
So here's the thing about
the county.
Dude, well, first of all, yes, it's owned by the county, but that track has been there since 1957. And
yes,
in the middle of nowhere like that. I mean, the track didn't
in
have
the desert.
all of the stuff
Like-
around it, and that's why. And that's literally what happens with all of these awesome tracks, and where all
Yeah.
these complaints come from is they build it out in the middle of the nowhere exactly for that reason, so it doesn't bother anybody. And then all that
Yeah.
property starts building and building and building and encroaching on their space, and before you know it, you got 10-story apartment buildings or condos, up 100 yards away, and they can hear race cars at whatever,
Yeah.
10 o'clock at night. It's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You built a house or you bought a house next to a racetrack that's been there longer than any of us have been alive. And it just blows my mind that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not, I mean, it's not just them. I mean, what is it? Bradenton Motorsports Park, and we've talked about that before. Cletus,
Yep.
Freedom Factory, they're under some
Yep.
scrutiny right now for the same reason, because they're building homes and communities right up against the racetrack as close as they possibly can. And what's going to happen? People are going to get pissed off if they hear race cars.
Mhm.
But it's a legal track. It's a great way to do it. Would they rather people be street racing out in the street in front of their house? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, you make a really good point. And actually, we just recently lost a track here in Florida. It's on the other coast, so we're in the Gulf Coast. Well, we're located in the Gulf Coast of Florida, or the Gulf Coast side of Florida. And we lost a track that's on the East Coast side of Florida, which is what used to be known as Moroso, or Palm Beach International Raceway, PBIR. They got shut down. That was a privately owned track, and the county, actually the sheriff, the local sheriff, was trying to stop the sale. So they essentially sold the land, and the track is being ripped apart right now as we speak, if I'm not mistaken, which is sad, because that is another very, very iconic track that even, I believe, don't quote me on this, but there's actually like a parts manufacturer for cars that it actually started off the name because of Moroso. It has the same name, Moroso.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're actually based here in Florida. Don't quote me on that. I'm just making the connection based off of the name. But we lost that track, and but the local sheriff's office understand, like, we're losing a drag strip, we're losing an actual paved track. If that track closes, where are these guys gonna go? The streets. So congratulations to all you fucking fucktards that are trying to shut down these tracks, because pretty much all you're doing is just bringing havoc to the streets.
Well, it's funny, like, on that note, and not to keep harping on that, but like where I live, like, there are some really long straightaway roads that are really not patrolled by the police at night.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bikes, a lot of cars race up and down. I won't name the road on here, but Eric, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you live pretty close to it as well. But there's a lot of people that exceed the speed limit, and there's a lot of racing that goes on. There was a guy locally that I think owned a McLaren, got clocked doing like 165 or something like that on this road that we're talking about. So it's crazy, but that just goes to show, if we had a track close by, who knows? It's not going to alleviate all that, but it would give people a place to blow off their steam with their cars, right? So
yeah. I also feel like that's kind of one reason why the county is adding more roundabouts on that road.
They're adding roundabouts.
I'm not talking about that road. I'm talking about the road a little bit to the east of that has a much higher speed limit.
You and I visited Mexico there once.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, that is a road that a lot of people actually. Yeah, that's, well, I mean, if you think about it, in a car guy's point of view, that is probably the perfect road to visit Mexico in, because it is, to your point, one, it's a very long road, like ridiculously long.
There's a stretch of it where there's really no light for like a couple miles. And no, it's not a couple lanes.
It's miles. Yeah, and it's 6 lanes. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a perfect road. But I mean, like, we don't have a track here locally. The closest track that we have, I'm just gonna name them off, is Immokalee Regional Raceway. I've gone there a few times. I've actually gone and drag race there. It's only 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah,
it's nothing like spectacular.
Better than nothing, but it leaves a lot to be desired still.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because it's more like, it's kind of like barely scratching an itch. You know, like if you're like if you have a craving for something, that'll keep you satisfied for now. So like if you're craving really really good pizza and you go to, not to knock the franchise, but you go to like Little Caesars or something, it's like, oh, it's pizza, I'm satisfied for now, versus like going to like one of our favorite pizza places, like you're going to Nice Guys, or you're going to Uncle Rico's, or you're going to
Rico's.
Grandpa's Pizza. Oh yeah, it's so good. Or Grandpa's
Angry
Pizza in
Uncle.
Bonita.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like satisfying like an itch that you have. But I mean, like, yeah, like we would love to have an actual track, you know, here in Southwest Florida, but
and it's like, will we ever see it? I don't know. Probably not. But
they talked about it. They talked about it. I remember,
especially with us having the airport is the perfect area to do something like that. There's no noise worries, nothing.
Yep. Ton of parking, ton of area that they could build it. That's actually where they were. I can't remember the name of the company, but there was a investment group from New York, I believe, that were eyeballing property near the old airport strip. Yeah. And they were going to turn that into like a short course and do a drag strip. I think it was an 8th mile, just because there's not a ton of space, but I think it was an 8th mile drag strip, and I think it was a short course, and they were going to do a like a drift pad and stuff too. And it would have been great. Throw some food trucks out there, throw a little concession stand up to get some sodas and stuff, have everybody sign a waiver, and you're good. And that place would be so packed. If someone watching this,
I mean, Bradenton's what, $20 to get in, and then if you want to race, it's $10 for your tech card. Like, $30 if you want to actually run, and that's roll racing, drag. They do some other shit, like all in one day for $30 to do exactly what you want to do. I mean,
it's more like 40, because like it's $10 per tech card. You are right about that, but you
tech card.
Yeah, you have a tech card for roll racing, and then you have one for just like the actual tree racing, because they stop it at like 7:30.
Yeah, I think 7 it kicks over or something.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, like, even if you think about it, $40 to go in and to race from like, if you get there early, I think they open at like 4 to like 10. That's like 6 hours of racing for $40. That's a great deal.
And that's honestly, think about it. That's why so many people drag race, because you know, we all like autocross, and we like throwing our car around like an actual track, right? It's great, it's awesome. But what does it cost to go run your car at Sebring? Probably a couple grand by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah,
and you got to do the courses.
I mean, if you ignore wear and tear, at least $400 to $500 just to get into the track with one of the clubs. That's ignoring the wear and tear, at least gas and all that. Like. Yeah, and then you prevent your helmet if you don't have one already, all that kind of stuff.
So like
it adds up quick.
Might offend somebody with this, but actual racing is expensive. Drag racing, you're gonna have to break some parts every once in a while, but like it's pretty cheap to just put your car out there and drive it for.
Yeah, because you can run your daily. You know, it's one thing if you're running a top fuel dragster and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on that, but for what we do for your normal consumer, it's way more affordable to run down a straight line than it is to go to a proper track.
It's like my buddy Craig with his
with permission, at least.
You know, it's like my buddy Greg with his X3M, and I'm sure it would be the same in your Explorer at this point if you ever get to run it. But like, you drive up, unload your crap out of the back, go run, I don't know, handful of times, embarrass some people, and then you're like, I'm good. Yeah. Turn your AC back on, drive home. Like,
it's always fun embarrassing people in SUVs, you know?
Yeah.
He gets to do it more than I do, but
it's grassroots. But I mean, back to the problem. It's like, you know, you guys have been to the Bradenton track. You know the explosive growth in like Sarasota, Bradenton area. Think about it's only a matter of time before there's going to be condos and new housing developments up there knocking on the door of Bradenton. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Our state is growing. There. Everyone has wanted to move here ever since COVID.
And Bradenton's kind of a hot area being close to Tampa.
Yeah, it sucks. So, I mean, I think more and more of the world's, you know, at least maybe not the world's. That's where there's like a really fine line here. I think more and more tracks in the United States are going to be in jeopardy, whereas globally, other countries like praise their racetracks. It's like us with our football stadiums. Like, that's what it.
You make a very, very, very valid point, Mike, because what I find, I'm going to say sad, is that we obviously the one track that we go to every single year since 2015 is Sebring. You ask anybody about Sebring here in the United States that does not follow racing, they don't know where the hell Sebring is. They're like,
Nope.
"Where's Sebring at?" It's Central Florida. Okay, I've never heard about it. Like, what
Is
is
it
it?
near
Oh,
Disney World?
It's yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
not too far.
yeah, you're not wrong. You ask anybody outside, like you ask people in Europe, like, yeah, like I live in Florida, like, and I go to Sebring. Like, if they're even remotely into motorsports, they know about Sebring.
Right.
And it's crazy that like you have like this world-renowned racetrack here in Florida in this tiny town of Sebring that brings in millions of dollars every single year to this tiny town, because you have to think like it's not just a race that's going on. You have people staying in hotels, you have restaurants that are packed, you have gas stations that are constantly having to refuel because you have so much activity going on at the track. So it brings the town tons of freaking money. And people in the freaking United States do not know or could care less about what Sebring is,
right?
Or Daytona. Like if you talk to anybody about Daytona, oh yeah, there's a beach. No, there's a world-renowned racetrack right there too.
Yep.
Homestead is another one.
People in Sebring love the track. They understand that is their calling card to fame right there.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's like I don't like Sebring. I feel like it's just a gem, right? Like it's really secluded in of itself, and it's in a very rural area, in an area that I don't think is really going to have an expansion of growth. Really, I mean, who knows? 10 years from now.
I mean, the lakes, though, because of the lakes, you get a lot of draw there. I think.
Yeah. Well, it's also Sebring. Sebring's also known for like that area's got really great golf courses. Go figure. Florida has great golf courses everywhere, but like that's another draw for people. But I don't know.
Well, to one point that you did say, Mike, the Sebring, that town, every single person that lives there is very well aware of that track. Yeah. Not a single person complains about noise ordinance because of that track, because they know that does attract a lot of attention from people. Yeah. But
from what we've learned over the years, that track is booked over 300 days a year, so it's almost never quiet.
Awesome.
It's always going.
Yeah, exactly. We really need to get up there more often for more of their other stuff.
Oh yeah, for the whole hour and a half it is away from us.
It's so close.
It's not that far.
No,
but there's actually there's if you look on Google Maps, excuse me, there's a ton of housing around Sebring, like International Raceway. There's a ton. There's actually like a new property that's being built there. Like it's like a community, I guess you can say, that was originally going to be a golf course, but then they kind of scrapped that idea, and now they're only going to be building houses. My brother-in-law bought a piece of property at one of that track, like right next to the track, and he like where he bought the property, he literally walked on one of the other properties and he filmed it. You can see the cars passing by.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like right next to it.
Well, I think the thing that helps Sebring to be more protected is, like we were talking about earlier, if somebody went locally, it is basically attached at the hip to a municipal airport.
Yeah.
So it has, again, there's noise expectations, and what are you gonna do? Complain about the track and then go after the airport after? Yeah, good luck with that one. So
exactly.
Yeah, so it's I think that kind of protects it, which is nice. Good for us, good for the enthusiasts and stuff. Just wish it was more affordable to get out there and do some track days. But on the bright side, something that we all get to be excited about, and I bring up every now and then, is the new fast tracks. Construction started.
That will be
working on it. We're gonna have indoor air conditioned kart racing. So I mean, that's gonna be great.
Did they start construction on it?
Yeah, they broke ground.
See, I didn't even know that. It's been a while since I've been over there, but
I haven't seen it. I just happened to catch a glimpse of an article. I would have had no idea otherwise.
Yeah, that's
nice. They're still saying by the end of this year they expect it to be up and fully operational.
Hell yeah, that's like 10 minutes for me too. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's real convenient for you too.
Yeah,
for sure.
So expect helmet footage from us pretty much duking it out on a track.
Yeah, it's gonna get
it's gonna get real membership or something.
It's gonna get real
money for like an annual plan or some shit, just so I can be there as much as possible.
Oh yeah, dude, that'll be great.
Yeah. Plus now I can get my kids addicted to this shit too. So
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it like for kids, it. I mean, granted, okay, so getting kids or getting involved into motorsports at a young age, not a terrible idea, because I've always like, people that I work with that they're like, oh yeah, like, that I've been in the past, and they're like, yeah, like my kid is getting like his learner's permit or did, and I'm like, what, why don't you take him to Gulf Coast autocrossers and have them start autocrossing? Like, you can literally autocross any car that you want, so long that it's, I mean, you can autocross like trucks and SUVs, but it's cars. Just
Gulf Coast won't let you for the most part, but
no, they will allow trucks.
SCCA. Well, yeah,
They'll
properly
allow
built truck,
trucks.
but the SUV with the highest center of gravity. They had an
No,
incident years ago
I've
that
I've seen SRT10 trucks running on track.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, a full body SUV though. They had an incident, I guess, a handful of years ago, and they won't let even if you meet the SCCA requirements of being wider than you are tall, they won't
Yeah.
let you. Where one of these
Oh,
trucks
gotcha.
slam down or can pull that off easy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like, I mean, even then, like I always tell people, I'm like, yo, like if you want your kid to like be good at driving, like have them like autocrossing, because
Yeah.
they learn car control. They learn like their reaction times actually increase significantly. So being involved in motorsports is like, yeah, granted, like you may, like you guys, like, viewers and listeners, you guys may think like, oh yeah, like car people, they drive like hooligans. Like, oh, I mean, like car people, not all, but most, they know how to drive a lot better than like 90% of the people that are out there on the
A
road.
lot. And one thing I remember too with the autocross thing
car
is
people, not
Well, yeah,
well,
that's what I'm saying.
takeover, not takeover losers and
but like
whatnot.
the cool thing with autocross is like that's the point they make is you're not racing to the people. You're really racing against yourself and getting better. And the beauty in that is it's not about being a better just general driver. It's about knowing your car as well as humanly possible. And the better you know your car and know its limits, that's the most important thing. Knowing your vehicle's limits.
Yeah.
And then knowing how that car functions and feels to you, an extension of yourself, basically.
Yeah.
You can drive defensively. You never have to be aggressive. You're just always on the watch and you're ready to interact with anything. And so it is a great way. I mean, like I started racing quarter midgets, little clay track go-karts at like 4.5 years old. So that's how I got started in the automotive world. And unfortunately, there's none of that around here. I looked into it already, put my kids into it as well. But that's what got me addicted to racing shit. At a very young age, and getting to see my family cheer me on and stuff, and zip around this little track and whatnot, and doing clay and pavement and stuff. It was fun. It was a really good time. And I think even though I did that at such an early age, it has just made me a better driver through my life.
Yeah.
My wife might argue with that, but I've never killed her and I've never hit anything. So
yeah. I never did the quarter midgets, but I always been, like since I got my first car, like I've always done stupid shit, street racing, drag racing, autocrossing, and my freaking Integra. So I learned out, early teenage years, how to actually abuse a car.
Yeah.
But, anyways,
tracks are important, people. Tracks are important.
They are very important.
It's
not. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was gonna say it's not just people out there just trying to be loud and obnoxious. Like that's not what it is. That's a byproduct a little bit, maybe, sure, but like it is a sport, and like I hate to say it, but like most of America doesn't see the automotive world that way. We see, the vast majority of people in the US see cars as transportation, and that's it. That's just a means to an end to get from point A to point B.
Right.
And that sucks because a lot of countries have a different perspective, and that is more like enjoying driving. It's more of an experience. It's like going out to a nice dinner. You do it for the experience. You're not just there to shovel food into your face. Like it's about the experience. It's about what you're doing. It's about enjoying the drive. So
it's like something as simple as
disappear.
Yeah, something as simple as my little Christmas Eve run through the mountains in Tennessee, through the state park and stuff like that. As simple as it was, I got up early while the wife was still asleep and, just went out, threw the camera up, went out. And it was beautiful scenery, great curvy roads. I am one of those loud, obnoxious car people, but as I was cruising through the mountains and through the forest and stuff like that. I mean, it was just awesome. And I mean, was I pushing some limits? Absolutely. But at the same time, it was not stressful. It was just kind of relaxing and just being out there and doing my thing. And I learned a lot about my car, my Explorer being pretty new to me. Just from that, I really learned some limitations on my braking, my traction with the 4-wheel drive system. Like, I was out there kind of messing around and, no scares or anything, but I was able to push a little bit and learn that vehicle's limitations some more, which, within reasons, again, a great thing to know about your vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Nick, did you cross the mustard when you're driving on your mountain run?
Did you cross the mustard?
Is
that what they call it at Tail of the Dragon?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yes, they do.
There's this weird thing in me.
I'm assuming
I hate to do it. I hate to do it. I like
your answer is yes.
I'm like straight line guy, but a couple times through some turns because I got a little squirrely here or there. I not purposely crossed a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, we're talking like minuscule, but for the most part, on those roads that are clearly lined and paved, like I try to stick pretty close. And a lot of them, it wasn't a blind turn. I could see I could have easily taken it wider and hit the turn better. But I stayed within the road's limits as well, which, again, just helped me learn what my car will do in those parameters in that tighter spot. So, I am one of those, I like the lines. And in my mind, I'm like, I got to color within the lines. And I will slow down or not push as hard just purely to stay in those lines, which can be detrimental if I was actually on a track or something like that. But, yeah.
So, yes, you did.
Yes, but not trying to be a dick and not purposefully. It was more so if I pushed a little too hard, come out of a couple turns and got that back end going a little bit. Which freaks you out in a 4-wheel drive SUV, let me tell you.
I'm going to clip this part of the podcast. I'm going to post it on Fail of the Dragon. Fail of the Dragon.
That's funny.
That is a real Facebook page, by the way. Yeah. It's called Fail of the Dragon.
That's awesome.
Look it up. You
do not want to be on that one.
You don't. No. That's why, honestly, anytime I'm on the Dragon, I'm like, stay between the mustard and the mayo line. You can cross the mayo. That's acceptable. Just don't.
Yeah, you don't want to cross.
Don't cross the mustard.
I feel like you don't want to cross the mayo too much, though.
No, the mayo is more acceptable. The mayo is acceptable.
I've seen what's on the other side of the mayo, and a lot of times it's a straight drop into a cliff.
Yeah, I was going to say, the mayo turns into the bottom of the trash can real soon there.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad on the Dragon. It's not. But anyways, yes, tracks are very, very important. Important.
If we all drove Porsches, they would be very important.
Very important.
They would. Which we're all hoping that we can buy Porsches eventually at one point, not 944. We're more like
real race cars.
Race car Porsches.
Moral of the story for everybody is race cars are cool. Education is not that important. Race cars are more important.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So yes, racetracks are important. Don't complain about racetracks. Why, like, homeowners and businesses and whatever, you guys have to think these racetracks have been in that location a lot longer than what you thought of actually wanting to purchase land or build a home or whatever, like in that specific location. So
mark my words
for complaining about it.
If this channel makes it, if we hit the big time, somehow we make it, right? We're building a racetrack. It might be for go-karts or something, but building a racetrack.
Speak for yourself.
Dude, if we can afford to build a racetrack for RC cars, we're doing well.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
We're doing better than we're doing at this very moment. Let's put it that way.
You want a racetrack, Eric?
I like Slidey Boy shit. You know exactly what type of track I would build.
He just wants a giant skid pad's all he needs.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a giant slab of concrete, and he's happy.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Anyways,
a small slab of concrete with drift carts.
That'd be cool too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be.
That's step one. We'll do that first, and then we'll build the racetrack. Like, share, and subscribe.
Around
Thank you.
The slab.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe. Yes. All right. We kind of ranted about that one.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the beverage recap. So Of course, the milk and cookies from Wicked Weed, phenomenal beer. If you have the chance to go up to Astro and actually have this fresh on tap, highly recommend it. It is a delicious beer on can, on tap, that much better. The Guilty Pleasures, really good. Obviously, it's very boozy, 11.6%. You can tell that it's kind of getting to me. You can taste that it's barrel aged, which I love barrel aged beer. It's really really good. I'm actually really enjoying this. This one says that it's got golden raisins, cinnamon, and vanilla. Um, the cinnamon and vanilla you can definitely taste. The golden raisins not so much, but it is very very delicious. Really enjoying that one. So yeah, that's my take on those. Mike, what about your beers?
Coppertail Night Swim was the first one. That one went down pretty smooth. It's really good. I mean, I know you guys have been to Coppertail. Their brewery is in Tampa, right across from the IKEA. It's like, I don't know, it's not a headquarters, but one of the IKEA outlets that are in the state of Florida. So go up with your wife, let her do some shopping. You go drink beer. It's the place is awesome.
You gotta go grab Swedish meatballs first, and then
those
go
Swedish
grab some
meatballs
beer.
are banging though, banging, and they're like so cheap, so cheap.
So ignoring the IKEA thing, but speaking of being nice and close there, me and the wife, when we stayed up there for whatever the hell we were up there for, for the Avenged concert, the Airbnb we stayed at was very nice. Was right across the street. From the balcony we could see the tap room and the brewery. So
nice.
There's also some great, very affordable Airbnb opportunities if you want to go up there and hang outside of Tampa and be able to visit the brewery.
That's
right
awesome.
there, right across from it. There's some great Airbnb options.
Their brewery is probably one of the coolest breweries in the state. It's 2 stories. The second floor is amazing. They've got like really cool like copper tones like all over the brewery. They got a huge wall, big giant windows that oversee the brewing space. Really really cool spot. Their porter Night Swim is solid beer. Just super flavorful. It's nice and robust, but not heavy. It's not like drinking a big heavy stout. 6%. It's delicious. I recommend picking this one up. It's available pretty all over the place. This beer was really interesting. Life and Limb. This is what I'm drank about half of it now, but obviously super dark color. The maple is honestly like really really subtle. Like it's sweet, but not like overwhelmingly sweet, which I can appreciate because I like sweet stuff, but like I don't want my beer to be like drinking straight syrup. Like it's just not appetizing to me. But you get a little bit of the subtleness from the sweetness, but it's really good. I really like it. 10%, so it's actually a little bit boozy. I don't know if how much of that is from the maple, but it's got a really really like alcohol bite to it. But I think it tastes delicious. It's really good. So thanks, Eric. Thanks for sharing that with me.
No problem. I'm actually excited to try that one next. I might drink that one next week.
It's really good. It's really, really good. Not disappointed at all. Nick.
Hell yeah.
What are your bevs?
Well, the Ouzo's gone. I mentioned that earlier. It was actually really smooth, and I'm not a huge black licorice guy, but I don't hate it. That went pretty well. The mead, or the Keys mead, new fashioned, is pretty good. Do I prefer my like chocolate old fashioned that I make, or some more traditional old fashions? Probably, because this is, if you like honey and you like cocktails, the honey flavor comes through really strong in this. You can really tell if you've ever had any decent meads that this is mead honey based. I mean, it's boozy, but all in all, it is pretty damn good. Definitely not a bad purchase at all. I've got a handful of things from these guys because it's twofold. It's meads, Keys Meads, which is based out of Key Largo, and then they also have a distillery called Lost Viking Distillery. So, hence the Viking, wax cap. So that's kind of the cool thing about it. So that's where they're making these different distilled liquors and whatnot. most of them based on a mead. So not cheap, because honey is like the most expensive fermentable sugar that you can have. So if mead's expensive, expect any liquors to be made from it to be expensive as well, because you're distilling off a lot of the volume to make that. So there's that. As always, a Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA, especially this Imperial version, phenomenal. I mean, any 60, 90, or the 120 are just always great. I think good look tos for a standard of the IPAs. That's phenomenal. And I haven't dipped into my Old Smoky yet. If we're still on here when I get done the beer, crack into that little guy. I already know it's going to be good. It's just a matter of, do I get to it or not tonight? So
nice.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. I think I've bought that before and shared it with you guys. Actually, I did. I don't know if I drank it with you guys, but I used to get Angry Orchard, and I used to like take a sip of the bottle, and I used to pour like a shot of it in there, and it was like an Angry Balls. No, I'm sorry, it's not an Angry Balls. It was like a
Angry Balls, huh?
It was like a Dutch apple pie.
So
tasted really good.
Fireball and Angry Orchard is called
Fireballs.
It's either called Fireballs or Angry. I don't remember what it is. I can't remember what it is.
Angry Balls.
It's
Angry Balls or Fireballs or Angry Balls.
I don't know, something like that. But that is delicious if you've ever had it before. But it is so fucking sweet, so sweet.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was just waiting to see how long you guys talk about balls.
Yup.
Not to be confused with the energy drink. Balls.
Yeah. Nice. I like it.
Anyways, yes, Dutch apple pie. If you pour Angry Orchard and Old Smoky apple pie moonshine in there, tastes really good. It's, to Mike's point, it's a little sweet, but it's still pretty good.
So
yeah,
I got a random one. I'm actually just looking at something that I saw on the old interwebs here, and I'll share it with Eric so that he can clip it. But did you guys? None of us are really NASCAR fans, right? But did you hear about that guy that rode his car along the wall and like won the race?
Yeah, he did the whole worked in video games. I forgot what try it kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And just full tilt, pedal to the floor, rode the wall around the whole thing. Right. Ross Chastain was the guy's name.
Yep. He's local, isn't
he? Funny enough, he was from Alva. Yeah. Born and raised in Alva. Well, Anheuser-Busch just I don't know if you guys can see that. They just signed him to drive the Busch car. So
that's pretty cool. That's good for him, man.
It's beer and racing involved, but yeah, he Ross Chastain is driving the Busch Light NASCAR now. So that's pretty cool. Good old boy from Alva that basically
he made some waves when he first got started, I guess, and just keeps growing.
And I think he's just a really great driver. And then he did that whole stunt against the wall, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's crazy!" Yeah. So pretty funny.
Yeah. So he didn't win the race. He came, I think, in 4th place. Like, he just made it enough to like where he can move
almost podium type thing, or like
he made him like a points position,
right?
Yeah, because he needed to be in a specific position.
The whole story, but
to move on to like I don't. We're not NASCAR fans. Like, since this podcast, we probably should be more into NASCAR, but
I used to be.
Oh yeah. But yeah, he didn't win. He got like 4th place or something, but it was enough for him to like move on, like within like the point series or something.
So he still qualified for the next race or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what it was. But yeah, like that was super cool. Well, I mean, like if he signed with Anheuser-Busch, maybe you can somehow communicate with him so he can be on the podcast.
I mean, that'd be really cool. That'd be super cool if we could make that happen. He's a
local boy too. I mean,
he is a local boy. I mean, Alpha's I don't know, 15, 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, from you guys, real close.
Yeah. It's right down the
he's
road.
like, it's like, he's probably like 10 minutes from me, probably,
Yeah,
if he's still
it's like
here.
it's right down the road. So
Yeah.
pretty cool, pretty funny. I just
Nice.
I can appreciate that. I feel like that is a very Bush Light driver thing to do. Is just hammer your car against the wall.
Yeah, it's really one of those like, hey, hold my beer, watch this, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually really funny, but you know that because of him, they had to rewrite or they added a rule to the rule book that you can't do that.
Well, it's funny how that works. You know, it's like the first time that anybody's ever tried it, and they were like, we can't allow that. We can't yell at him because we didn't say it was, it was allowed.
Yeah.
Now we have to like make it not allowed. So
yeah, it's frowned upon to do something crazy, but wasn't illegal. So
exactly. It's funny. It's funny how that
somebody's got to do it first.
It's funny how that works. It's like when your company updates the employee handbook. It's because somebody done fucked up, and the company had to rewrite the handbook.
That's my fault.
yeah, exactly.
I did that. That's me. I did that.
Yeah.
Damn Oopsie. Sorry, guys.
I am a role model, sir, in management. I don't do such things anymore.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure
about that? No. I mean, I instigate every now and then, but for the most part,
that was really long.
Well, I love how like whenever Nick is supposed to be a simple yes or no question, but when it's something bad, he's like, well,
Listen, I'm a salesperson at heart. It's never a simple yes or no. There's something more that goes along with it. But
man,
I can't get out with an easy yes or no. There's a conversation that must be had for this whole thing.
Yep.
So,
oh man, that's so
pros and cons, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, that's so great.
Sometimes you just gotta send it, just like Ross.
You do full send all times.
Ross, come on the podcast. We need to hear about your tactic.
Listen, you have communications in the beer industry. Maybe you can.
Man, I'll see what I can do.
What is Budweiser running? What manufacturer are they running? Ford, Chevy?
I believe it's Chevy. Come on, America. Yep, Chevy.
It's definitely American.
Ford, sir. That's the reason I didn't say Toyota.
Camaro. No, it's Chevy.
Okay.
Hell yeah, running the LSs.
There. I can't help with that one.
Oh man, can you imagine if it was Ford and we could double whammy him? Like, oh my god!
Last year I had tickets for the 500. I just couldn't go, so I gave them away to one of my receptionists who was really excited to go.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Thanks for the invite.
I got them from Ford.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
If I wasn't going, it had to go to somebody in the company.
Oh, that makes sense.
Lame.
Yeah, so
I understand that.
Yeah. When they're free manufacturer tickets for an event, they kind of have to stick with the company.
Yeah.
If I was there, it'd be one thing to take somebody else with me, but yeah.
I heard that.
My wife wouldn't want to go.
So, what else can you get with that? How about
now that
tickets?
Ford has officially launched this new GT3 program and they're back into racing pretty heavy outside of NASCAR, I am hoping this year to pull something off. Nobody has successfully gotten me the contact for internal Ford Motorsports yet, so I'm working on that.
I think I'm still going to want to buy my ticket.
I'm probably going to do that as well for backup. But
I thought you were going to buy the tickets already.
No, I forgot.
Yeah,
I need to.
Because last year I was asking for those. I was asking for tickets for Sebring to see if they could hook me up, like Hyundai and Mazda used to do. And that's when she was like, "I can't because we don't have a big enough presence." However, how would you like to go to the Daytona 500? And I was like, well, let's have that conversation.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So I know there's a chance. There's a chance.
I'm just saying because as of right now, hold on, give me a second. There are 49 days, 11 hours, and 26 minutes to Sebring.
Bro,
you're sick.
So excited.
You're sick.
I'm not sick. It's on their website.
Oh, okay.
It's up here.
I thought you had your own countdown. I was like, oh my god.
No.
He's got like a clock on the wall. He's like, I got it.
Like a doomsday clock up there,
Oh my god, it's so.
Yeah. Man, you know what I need? I need like one of those like timers that Brandon has.
Yeah,
at number 3.
Yeah.
I need one of those just to like put it like up here somewhere.
Yep, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I found out. You remember my guy that I used to work with, Justin, that we ran into there last night. He got hammered. Remember, he came over. He was like standing right across the street on on the other side over there. He came over with his wife. They're coming again, and they're like super pumped. They're like, "We'll save a spot right next to our RV for you." And I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know if we can party as hard as you guys."
Wait, who?
Never know.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
were they the guys that stayed at Turn 7?
No, they were.
Or
no,
no,
they were. His
somebody else.
camper was
I
right
just
across.
remember them coming over and hanging out with us and sit with us and bullshit and drink. That's all I really remember.
Yeah, they
from
came
them.
over a couple times. Just went down and had beers. I feel like we need to like just start building like a giant compound, like just a like.
I mean,
everybody that we know
meet more and
comes.
more people that we know that go. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
know.
Our campsite pretty much takes up like a lot of room.
I know, but we have a good setup though. Like it's a good
We
setup
do.
now. Like the only thing that would make it better is if we actually just nut up and buy an RV or rent an RV to go up for the event. You know.
Speaking of which, we have to start planning this because we have like 49
Dude, I
days,
know.
11 hours, and 25 minutes right now.
I know. I gotta draw. I gotta draw my map. I gotta draw my map for you guys to set it up because I won't be up there until the evening. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
loser.
As of right now, I still have that shared note that I sent you guys for Sebring, so we can start utilizing that so that we can start planning it.
What year is this?
24.
15, 16, 17,
Oh,
18,
that.
19, 21, 22, 23. Oh, shit. You're 9.
I know. We're close.
You're 9 for me and Mike, at least.
Yeah.
You're 8 for you.
I was gonna say
Right.
for 10, we gotta do something awesome. Next year, not 2025. We need to look at an RV.
Yeah.
We need to take some, I don't know, lobster tails, prime
Wagyu.
ribeyes.
Ooh.
Wagyu, a couple people. Oh, we should get a couple Wagyu ribeyes.
You know who
Done.
we should get in contact with? What's
I
his
got a
name?
guy.
Guga?
I got a guy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got a
pretty
guy.
cool.
Don't worry
Dude.
about it. My buddy Greg works for Cisco. His buddy.
Oh.
So maybe I shouldn't say this. His buddy owns
should.
a mechanic shop. He opened an account because anybody can open an account with Cisco. I mean, Nick, you could get food delivered from Cisco to Ford if you wanted to. Like it's anybody can open an account. He opened an account with them, and like whenever like any of Greg's friends or his friends like need food, he just orders it direct through Cisco, and then you just throw him some cash. So I could honestly probably get Wagyu for like half of what we would pay at like a retail outlet. So
Wagyu and lobster.
bro, I could get both. I can get
It
literally
used to be $99 a pound at Farmer Joe's. Now it's like $1.40 a pound or something. Like,
I bet you I could get it for half that and everything else that we need, honestly.
Because dude, it's so rich. The one ribeye that I had fed 4 people.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't want to eat. I mean, we would just get like a small section of it, and we'd eat it with something else. It's not like that would be the only thing we're eating. Right?
Yeah.
So,
like I said, one good ribeye feeds 4 people easy for how rich it is.
If we did that and like some good like Gulf shrimp or something, like big prawns, that'd be money.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
You know what I can probably do too? Like if we don't do that, like my buddy
sauce will go with it.
Yeah, my buddy Ryan, he's deep into fucking like cooking and stuff. Like so he lives up in Orlando, and he's from Louisiana, and he's
crawfish.
He's big into doing crawfish.
See, the only thing about that is we got to bring a big ass pot with a burner, propane tank, and all that.
No problem.
We already
got my
bring a
turkey
propane
fryer.
tank.
Yeah,
it's true.
I got a turkey fryer with a big ass pot and the burners. If we ever want to do something like that, I have the equipment for it.
It's not shit that we don't bring. Like it's shit that we already bring. Aside from like the big ass pot.
I mean,
that's all we need.
Yeah, it's a pot and burner.
Dude.
That's all I got.
Those
2 things.
That's not a bad idea. Do like a crawfish boil on Friday night,
dude.
Just invite anybody walking by to come join us and just.
Yeah.
This is just getting better and better. I love Sebring so much. So much.
Yeah, we meet so many fun people just by being on the point there, like in the corner drinking.
It's just so much fun, man. It's like I know we've talked about this a ton of times on the channel.
Last year we were hanging out with a guy from Bomb Squad, so that was fun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, and
he left the note.
Luckily, Luckily, oh yeah. Luckily, I have his number. But do you remember that we use Nick? I think you came back home real quick to do some personal stuff. But
Well, I had my mortgage refi last year. I had to dip out for sign and come back.
Yeah, but me and Mike, when we had my Corvette, we treated it as a truck. Do you remember the two guys?
I remember you guys talking about that. Jesus.
Dude, I was driving around with the freaking hatch open and just taking like these two drunken ass dudes back to their campsite, which was close to ours. So we're like, oh, we'll just take you to our campsite and then you can just walk to yours. Dude, it was so I still have his number. I think his name is Kenny. I have to look him up, but I have his number on here.
Dude, not only that, but like we went and met them over at the big tent where they played like where the music where the band sets up. Dude, oh my god, they were just like feeding us beers. Just and this guy had a
that's right,
and he was just pulling beers out. Oh my god, it was great. It was so much fun.
You meet so many cool people at Sebring.
Like,
you guys, subscribers, our listeners and subscribers, subscribe to our YouTube
channel. Go to
channel.
Sebring 12 Hour.
Look us up. Booze Bros and Cars, and follow us on all of our social media pages. I'll link everything on, or I'll put the Linktree link on the description below. But dude, wait until you see all of the Sebring content coming out on all of our platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, which is just there, but TikTok, you'll see all of the updates, but from there you'll see why we love Sebring so much. It's not just like a guy's weekend, but it is the weekend of the year.
I mean, for us, it is definitely like a guy's weekend. Like I look forward to that. Like you can just go and do that. Like that's great. But like, and this is something that I tell my friends that are not like work associates and stuff that like are not necessarily car people. Like I'm like, you don't understand. Like you can come there and you don't have to give shit about any car racing, cars,
dude, there's
anything
plenty
in
of
general.
times where we ignore that the cars are running. We just chill out for a little while.
It is
play a game, drink.
It is so entertaining. All of the other things that we get up to over the course of like 4 days. It's like, like
okay, wait, hold on.
It's basically like a really fun, awesome party. Like I wouldn't even say a party, but like there's party aspects of it. But it's just a really fun experience that there happen to be race cars driving around at the same time. Like, it's awesome.
So quick question, because I don't want to get too deep into this, but are we going to do the same spot that we've done for the last 2 or 3 years?
I think so.
I think it works out pretty well. Hey, we got bathroom right there.
Yes.
The shower's not far. The big party tent moved closer to us than it ever has been.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm not going to lie to you. We're close to the sheriff station, which is keeps a little bit of the riffraff out, but we're like off the main road too, so like we don't get all of the loud trucks and stuff driving by. Yeah. So like I like it. I mean, my favorite spot was turn 13.
12
on
12.
Was 12, 13, whatever.
Right.
Like up on that hill right by the berm. That was my favorite spot we've ever had. But you know, the price of the spots there.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorites just because of the people we meet, because of where we are.
Yeah.
People just wander through and start talking to us and stuff like, well, yeah, you got abducted by that guy.
Oh my God.
At one point, Eric, but
I really just want to be trackside. Like, because I mean, I think that would be awesome. And the turn 12 spot was the closest we've ever had to being like
someday we'll have an RV setup of some sort on a trackside spot. Like one of these years, I'm just going to say F it and be like, yeah, let's do a $400 RV spot or something. But like, let's do like how we do it now, as simple as it is. It's fun.
Yeah, Nick, you and I are going to be up there first. So let's try to do this. Let's try to find a trackside spot off of the main stretch that we usually park by, which is between turn 6 and turn 7. Let's try to get one there because I know that Mike wants to do trackside parking or trackside. Let's try to do that first this year because you and I are going to be up there Wednesday really early.
Yeah.
If not, we can always just do our normal spot. But if we do our normal spot, the cows are right next to us.
Yeah, I mean the spot's it's a great spot. It really is.
It is a great spot.
It's close enough.
You guys will find out who the cows are and the monks and the monks.
Yeah, it would be nice to get some little clips with those guys, bullshit with them for like 4 or 5 minutes, even just to kind of bullshit with some of them and hang out with them for a little bit and record some stuff.
I gotta make some Booze Bros and Cars stuff so that
Dude,
we can start handing it out.
It is like some an shirts. Absolute necessity that we have to record at turn 10. Have to.
Dude. Like more content to come. A lot of content from Sebring to come.
Well, and the cool thing there is just like last year, we might bump into some cool people. We had some timekeeper guys up there. We had FAF Motorsports up there by us.
FAF was
we had full-blown race teams up there doing monitoring and testing and shit. So yeah, turn 10 is just awesome. Plus, all the people that hang out there seem just cool as shit. So
they're all just awesome. They're great people.
Yeah, and fun fact about turn 10, we actually came out in the news or on TV on turn 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
We did.
Oh my god, that's right.
I will post that picture on the on our socials here, probably Thursday-ish. Nice. You guys will see that picture.
Yeah, that's how we should
I'll go ahead and post that.
Positive lights.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, and on that note, that's all the time that we have here for today. Thank you guys for listening. Ooh. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all of our listeners and all of our followers and all of our viewers as well. Don't forget to savor your brews and hit the road responsibly. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for future content coming up very, very soon within the next few weeks. And future podcasts, because we are planning on making some really, really fun changes here for you guys. Again, cheers to Booze and Cars, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Cheers.